I don't have any Blue Sky invites. Please stop asking. I'm Spike.
I'm Cal, and I'm here for truth, justice, freedom, reasonably priced love, and a hard-boiled egg for all. Long live the People's Republic of Treacle Mine Road.
I'm Amanda. I think I'm having an aneurysm.
And happy Discworld Day to you too, Cal.
So in our D&D game that we play with
Mm-hmm.
friends, and one of them being Spike's husband, our DM keeps adding Discworld stuff to our game, but I don't know shit about Discworld. And
So you don't get
I'm
it.
also a D&D new baby. So
Mm-hmm.
very frequently I'm having to ask, like, what is this? Is this D&D or Discworld? You have to tell me. Because everyone else would laugh and do a little chuckle like, oh ho ho, this is a Discworld thing. And I'm like, I don't know that. Y'all gotta tell me these things.
Yeah, yeah. Discworld stuff, once you have an ear for it, even if you haven't read that particular volume, you're all like, that's some Discworld shit.
I still have the rat book that Kel lent me.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
You should read it.
It's on my bookshelf.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's like it's just sitting there like
They
I'm a book.
they made an animated movie of it that I
Mhm.
heard was just okay. I haven't sat down and watched it yet.
Yeah, a lot of Discworld adaptations are just okay.
It's because a lot of what makes Discworld is in the prose,
Yes,
and
the
it doesn't quite.
incredibly clever prose.
Well, also he does a lot of like, if there were visuals that would ruin the joke.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even the prose are particularly clever. It's more the joke they are telling works best when there is no visual element, and by adding it, you're spoiling the joke,
And there are a
or
lot of
killing the punchline.
there are a lot of really nice internal monologues too. And I
Yeah.
suppose you could put that. What this actually reminds me. So Folding Ideas ranks easily no contest among one of my favorite YouTubers. If you're not familiar with him, he is the guy who did Line Goes Up. So he does a lot
Dan
of
Olson.
Dan Olson. The channel's called Folding Ideas. His name is Dan Olson, and he does a
Pissed that
lot
he's
of.
not a puppet anymore.
He
Can
does a
you
lot
guys
of
hear me?
essays.
I
Yes.
can't
And
hear you. My
Oh,
headphones might be malfunctioning.
we can hear you.
we can hear
Yeah, let
you.
me type. Wait. They just said they can't hear me. Let me just go. We
Okay.
can hear you.
Amanda is typing to you right now, Kel.
They just said they can't hear us.
Oh, I thought they could only not hear you. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna keep going here. The comparison I was making
Okay,
is
Oh,
I fixed it. I'm good
okay,
now.
cool. All right. The thing I was going to say was I've been going through Dan's back catalog, and one of the ones I've been skipping.
the Puppet Days.
I've decided to not skip it. I've decided to actually watch it. Is his series a lukewarm defense of 50 Shades of Grey?
Oh, that's one of my favorite videos of
Yeah,
his.
and I was just like, I don't really care about 50 Shades of Grey, and I'm just kind of like over it in every way. I don't have like strong feelings about it, so I'm like, this probably won't interest me. But I've already watched everything now, so I'm going back and watching that. And you're right, Kel, it's really fun and really nice, and I strongly recommend it, especially if you sort of have a very strong opinion about how much you don't like 50 Shades of
See,
Grey.
when it
Well,
comes to like video essays and stuff, I actually like it when they talk about things
Yeah.
I'm not interested in,
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
it feels, I don't know, it's nice to be exposed to I don't know. I think it's more interesting when it's something
I
I don't know shit about.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think the 50 Shades of Grey one works particularly well because he is picking a book series that is well known, but is also derided for being crappy.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's a series
and
that's kind of
because he is
difficult.
comparing the movie to the books, and the source material is so flawed, he can safely give the good parts of the movie to the director and the people making the movie rather than the source material.
Yeah, and it's a good thing to pick apart too, because there are a lot of things like this out there. Recently, I kind of have these feelings about a lot of films, but he talks about how it's difficult to criticize 50 Shades of Grey with any kind of nuance because so many of the criticisms of it come from such a fuckheaded kind of place, like a terrible, shitty place. Like, a lot of the criticism is quite frankly grounded in misogyny or a fear of sexuality.
Oh yeah, that
And
that reminds me of like the several times there has been some kind of media that I'm like, oh, I
Mhm.
hate this, but it got like a really disproportionate backlash based on bunch of internet chuds with shitty like
Yeah,
misogynistic opinions like harassing that person or creator, and then me going, oh well, now I'll never share my opinion of this. I'm not
exactly.
adding to the fucking hate wagon.
Yeah, I'm not interested in participating in any
Like
kind of public
oh
discussion
god,
about this because there are people out there determined to not be fucking
I
reasonable
feel like
about
it's
it.
been long enough that I can like to be specific, but I remember like the Anita Sarkeesian shit when I was just like,
Yeah.
originally all her videos were coming out, and I was going, well, I don't like any of these or agree with most of this shit, and I was like,
Hmm.
time to write my critique of this because I'm assuming that like we're all gonna good faith critique this, right?
Yeah.
Nope,
No. But
no.
yeah, it's the same deal is with 50 Shades. And one of the things that I feel this way about in a lot of ways is Disney live action remakes, where I think Disney knows exactly what it's fucking doing on every level. And they are reveling in the discourse with a capital D. And it just feels like an absolute hijack of sort of progressive values to turn them into just more grist for the capitalism mill, where now you have to show how enlightened you are by buying our product. You don't want to be like the chuds, do you, who are being vociferously racist and bullshit about things. But here's the thing. I
But
really
even
don't
but
want
they're
those
even
fucking live action movies to exist. I really don't. I really fucking
yeah
hate that they're out there. They're pointless
Spike,
and useless.
I I don't think that Disney is them trying to do
they
the woke machine, except like you
I
could
don't
argue
think
with
it
The
is
Little
either.
Mermaid, but I think like I don't think most of the live action ones are that's the goal. I think what this is a higher budget version of the sequels that used to
yeah
come out straight on video or DVD.
yeah
Like it's a cash grab rather than anything
I don't
Yeah, it's a
think they're
cash
meaningful.
trying,
grab.
and based on what they've been doing, I don't really think they're trying to hide behind like, look, we're progressive. No, I really
No.
think they're just trying to market.
When I say they know what they're fucking doing, I don't mean that they're like, oh, he, we're going to, we're going to be woke now. No, here's the thing: corporations can't be woke, folks. Corporations don't have
Well,
values. They're
I'm
corporations.
saying
No,
plan is not the
let me just get this
discourse.
going. Let me just get this going. Corporations are doing what they're doing because they think that is the path to the most return on investment. If they want the Little Mermaid black, it's not because they think it's high time the Little Mermaid was black for philosophical or political reasons. It's because they're like, this, according to all of our focused research and data mining, will be a net positive for the Disney Corporation.
Yeah,
They don't give a shit about black people. They don't give a shit about little black girls having a little black mermaid doll for the first time. Because if all the data that got returned to them from their research said the Little Mermaid should be South Korean. Little Mermaid would be South Korean right now. Little Mermaid should stay white. All our focus groups wanted Little Mermaid white. Okay, cool. That's what they do because they're Disney. They
yeah.
make money, not
Yeah.
art. And
Yeah.
acting as if they are doing this brave, controversial thing by doing the thing that, like, you're letting yourself be fucking manipulated. I'm sorry. If you're like
Okay.
part of this group where you're like, oh, well, now I'm going to go out and see the Little Mermaid because the internet is being an asshole about it. Congratulations. You're being fucking manipulated.
Right,
It's
but that
going to
we were
be a
agreeing with
boring
that from the
shit film.
start.
Yeah,
We're agreeing with you on that part. You just
yeah.
said all the Disney live actions, which is where I was disagreeing.
Oh no, I hate them all. I hate them all.
Yeah, no, I'm saying they're all bad, but they're not using woke discourse as marketing.
No, and
They're
Disney
just
isn't using woke
yeah.
discourse as marketing. They're just
I also don't
letting
think they're like I don't think it's really benefiting them either.
I think that
Yeah,
they have
I think
internal
it is
documents
all
telling them this
just
is a good idea, and that's
Oh
why
yeah,
they're
for
doing it.
sure. That's
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
said. It's marketing. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I don't think they even care about the discourse because I don't think the discourse is gonna
And I
touch
think
them.
and I think it's super important that we all understand, just like how, the fucking MAGA chuds are super duper loud, and yet everyone is getting elected more and more on a socialist bent. Loud does not mean numerous.
Oh
Loud
yeah.
does not
Mhm.
mean majority, and loud does not mean right. People will still line up and go watch The Little Mermaid the same way they lined up to go watch the Beauty and the
I
Beast
I
remake.
I will say,
Mhm.
um, I have never seen any of the live action Disney movies.
Same.
Um, I just don't, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
However, that not it's not like a me making a stance or like I'm not supporting this. It's just I've
Yeah.
never wanted to. Again, as I
Yeah.
say in multiple episodes, I'm gonna die someday. I don't have time for that. But having said
Great
that,
philosophy.
I am I did get a little excited for Little Mermaid because when they did
Mhm.
announce the casting, like that that actress looks like a Disney character.
Does she?
Yes. I know
Mm.
her name. Shit. Hey, Hallie something.
Hey,
But she fucking like face shape, eye shape, dimples, cheeks. She looks like a fucking Disney princess, and I was like,
Yeah.
and she sings like her voice is actually really spot on for
Uh-huh.
Ariel. So there was a part of my brain that going, oh, this is really good casting. Maybe this is the one. Maybe this is the one where they
maybe
care.
this time it will
Yeah,
be good.
I let myself in the very, very early stages get a little optimistic because I thought the casting was really good. And I was like, oh,
Mm.
fuck, maybe this is the one where they care. No.
No.
Because in all
No.
the other ones, the casting has always felt really arbitrary. Like,
Mhm.
why did you cast this I don't understand. Why this person? I don't get it. And this was the first time I went, oh, I get it. She fits right into this Ariel mold. Oh my god, they're trying. I was wrong. They were not
No.
trying.
They and just in case everyone thinks this is like specifically a Disney thing, no, my husband can confirm I made quite the scowl last night because we were watching TV and a commercial came up and they are redoing The Color Purple, and I don't know why they're doing that. And
Money.
I guess nothing can be new anymore. And this all feeds into a thing we have tread and retread and
Oh, we
retread,
beat this
ironically enough.
subject into the
Yeah,
dirt.
where it's just, Hollywood is expensive, and that expensiveness makes them cowardly, and that cowardice makes them want sure things, and there's nothing surer than a thing that's already been successful.
It's definitely resulted in, I think, I already didn't see a lot of like movies, but I think
Yeah.
now I really don't see a lot of movies cuz like everything is something I don't want to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, I watch so much more
So I
YouTube
don't.
stuff than I watch TV or film. I really do.
Apparently, A Kristen, it's based on the Broadway show and it's a musical.
Yeah.
So it is apparently a different thing.
Okay. Okay. I mean, that's fine. I've seen The Color Purple though, you know.
I know, I'm just saying
Yeah.
that is some interesting context I was personally unaware of.
But
'Cause-
Oh,
but so to go back to Dan Olson's 50 Shades video,
I
I
yeah.
do think like that was a good thing to pick because like I said, it's the
Well,
improvements are all from the filmmaker.
I think it was also
Um
a good thing to pick because it's just something he's interested in talking about.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like cuz he's critiqued other film things and I think like um it works better than say talking about the editing on Suicide Squad because there is like an easy comparison to show people
Mhm.
like when he does that bit where he adds in the voice narration from the book to the movie
Oh
and it's
god,
awful
demonstrating how stupid her internal dialogue is.
um and because you do get a lot of people that compare a movie to the source material but usually they're doing that because the book and the movie are good in different ways. So it is like a matter of which thing version of good you prefer. Like you could very easily do compare and contrast Howl's Moving Castle, the movie versus the book, but like
The book is
it
better.
starts to become harder to compare them because they're so different. And then you get stuff like Lindsay Ellis's one of Lindsay Ellis's Nebula only videos is about Lord of the Rings movies, the Peter Jackson ones, and going over what got changed for the movies.
Mhm.
And some of those are to make them work better on film, but also those are things that like Tolkien fans are mad aren't there.
Like Tom Bombadil.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kristen,
So
for agreeing. That's important that someone agrees with me.
Yes.
So I think like that is why 50 Shades of Grey was uniquely a good pick for this topic of discussion.
Yeah. Yeah, in general, Dan Olson, aka Folding Ideas, is a great channel and you should watch all his shit. There's so many really good, and while we're recommending video essayists,
We're not. Stop.
Well, we are.
Put it. Don't quit it.
I'm
Spike
sure
is
moratorium. Stop it now.
I'm sure you're all aware of him already, but in case you aren't, Wendigoon is fucking fantastic. I love him very much.
I have my reservations.
His video about the Branch Davidians in Waco, Texas, in my opinion, is especially good. Especially good.
What's a really good video right now? Oh, you finish your thought, Amanda.
Oh, I was just saying, he's in my like YouTube probationary period thing. He's just he's sitting. I'll talk to you later. He's just sitting in a little box of. He's basically on observation for a while. I
you have to see if a chest burster pops out of him.
Well, here's the thing. I have YouTubers that I watch, but I watch them with many grains of salt.
Yeah.
And I like. I'll let Kel talk. I'll talk about this later. But yeah, no, he's just in my observation box for a while.
Okay, so a YouTuber I've been enjoying is Tom Nichols does political videos and is English, and in honor of the coronation has been doing videos that he has dubbed Treason Fest, which are all about everyone who has tried to abolish the British monarchy in history. So those have been fun videos where he's going over attempts to overthrow the British monarchy, and I
believe in y'all. Y'all can do it.
Yeah.
You can do it. Put your nose to the grindstone.
I think you could do it now without trying too hard, too.
Yeah, like
what are they
gonna
do?
Fucking likes him, right? Like I get the sense no one.
What are they gonna do?
Him.
Cry?
Yeah. Like seriously, you don't have to put up with that shit. We didn't.
I mean, they don't really do anything. I mean,
one of my favorites, Spike, was a guy who published a lot of pamphlets about how we should overthrow the monarchy, and then they got mad at him and he got in legal trouble. So he moved to America, helped with the Revolutionary War, and then after the Americans won the Revolutionary War, he moved back to England.
That doesn't seem very smart.
Some balls on that guy. Like he's like, I successfully got America free of the monarchy. Now I'm gonna try it again at home.
Beck H says trust no one is a good rule. It's true. What I was gonna say earlier is last time we were talking about YouTubers and stuff, and y'all had mentioned like specifically Spike. I think had mentioned like there are YouTubers whose not just YouTubers but reviewers whose opinions like you generally trust. Like if they say it's good.
Yeah.
I was sitting after that episode, I was actually sitting and thinking, and I realized I don't think there's a single reviewer or YouTuber or whatever who I feel that way about.
Oh, wow.
There's YouTubers I like a lot, but there's none where I think, they recommend a thing, therefore I will definitely like the thing, because that frequently just has not been true. For example, I adore H-Bomb to death.
If everything
trash movies.
Well, no, it's not just that. It's just everything he puts out, like, I eat up, and it's because I like him and his presentation, and it's more like, I'm here to hear you talk about the thing you like. Oh, that thing you like? I don't like it. Yeah. I do not like the thing you like. I'm so sorry, sir. But I do love to hear you talk about it. Like that game. Fuck. I was talking with friends. Yeah, pathologic. Everyone's like, oh, I watched that video and it made me want to play. I'm like, oh yeah, I watched that video. I love that video. It convinced me to never play that game.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I would hate that game, but boy, do I love to
I
listen to
think-
him talk about it.
I think what makes for a good reviewer is not necessarily you agree with them all the time.
Yeah.
But after they review it, you know if you want to consume that media or not.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
I don't know. I just also really like to hear people talk about things they're really interested in, whether it's for me or not. That's why.
Sure.
Yeah, well, I think like they're different skills. So
say that again. You robot garbled.
They're different skills.
Yeah.
So I think making a good video that's entertaining to watch, different skill than being a good reviewer.
Yeah. Yeah. There are two people that I watch pretty regularly that they're the only ones where if they say, if you're interested in this, turn this off now and go watch it and then come back. There are two people I will do that for in reality. I will do that for Mother's Basement and I will do that for Your Movie Sucks. So if they're like, I just recommend it so heartily. Don't even watch my review. Go watch it now. And I'll be like, okay, I'll turn them off and go watch it.
I don't think that for Mother's Basement because he is frequently distracted by cute moe girls, and I have zero patience for cute moe girls.
Fair enough. But yeah, I really appreciate, especially when Adam like deep dives shit. I love it when he deep dives stuff. That's pretty great. But what I really appreciate are like the very quick things he uploads. They're like 10 minutes long and they're all like, he has this whole way of speaking where, and it's really efficient where he's just like, I'm giving this a 7 out of 10. It's closer to a 6 than an 8. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's right. Thank you. So I'm not going to waste my time on a 7 out of 10 that's closer to a 6 than an 8.
Yeah. I have been able to, there are YouTubers I used to watch and I had to like drop them because I'm like, baby, no, you're there's like well, it's not about opinions, it's about presentation. There's a thing where I think I'm trying to think of who their names now because I was thinking about them the other day. There's a problem with YouTubers who don't know how to not be redundant or not say the same things over and over and over.
Yep.
I'm trying, and this is more of just like a speaking thing. This is a presentation thing, and I'm trying to remember. Because sometimes I watch.
They're not succinct,
huh? Well, it's not just that they're not succinct. I don't care. No, I don't mind if people aren't succinct. That's fine. It's more just like, it'd be like. I'm trying to think of an example. I'm very tired today. I had a rough day, and my brain is like. So, okay, it'd be like if I sat here and said, "So, I want you to know, like, the bad part of this is that they are like." Abusive to their kids, right? And I don't like kids, but I still think abuse is wrong. And it's like, okay, I don't know. Stop.
Yeah.
You don't have to like explain, and then they'll like talk about the thing, and then they'll say, and again, I don't like kids, but I think abusing them is still wrong. It's like, okay, you said that already, and they'll do that over and over, and they'll just circle back, and it's like, stop it.
Yeah.
Quit it.
Absolutely. I know exactly what you're talking.
Be wild if they said, "I don't like kids, so I think abusing kids is okay."
Well, no, it's fine to do the sentiment once, but it's like I don't know. Like I think what's his name? Oh, iNabber. iNabber does. I had to stop watching iNabber because it's like, oh, golly.
There's this one Let's Player I used to really enjoy, and it's because he's incredibly personable. He has that natural charisma that really draws you in and makes you want to just listen to what he has to say. But at some point, I noticed he says everything 3 times in a row. And the best way to describe it is if he's playing a game, character dies, he'll say, I'm dead! He killed me! I died! And I just noticed he started saying everything 3 times. No more, no less, 3 times. And it just began to get under my skin. And now I can't watch him.
There is a YouTuber I like that I always like I don't want a monkey's paw situation where I wish for something and it happens and then I get it and I'm like, no, I didn't actually want this, but I really like them. And it's one of those, I wish they made more videos. I wish they made longer videos, but like they're also a little bitty baby channel. And I like them. I like what they do. I like how little they are. I like them. um, I don't want them to get bigger. So it's like I
Yeah.
never like recommend them, but I like them. They're called Create Ball. I like
Create
them.
ball.
Create Ball.
Yeah.
Let me go look it up. CREE 8 Ball.
Although I have to say, I kind of
Um,
dig
I
it when a channel I'm watching has their blow up moment, and the person uploads this flustered, grateful video. It's like, wow, this is the first time thank you for getting me. Wow, oh my god, it keeps going up. Thank you for getting me 50,000 subscribers. I got a lot more content like that one video that went viral coming. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh boy, I got a lot of plans. I think that's the
uh,
cutest thing ever.
no, my favorite reaction to blowing up is CJ the X did their I have so many such and such subscribers,
Mhm.
and they literally start their stream with, "What the fuck are you doing here? I don't care about any of you." And then they show the little award they get in the mail from YouTube, and he's like, "I don't care about this," and they fling it across the room and like
Yeah.
CJ the X is a YouTuber I really enjoy because they they just got manic queer goblin energy.
Mhm. Yeah. The guy I'm thinking of right now, I think his YouTube name is Hornet King. And I was watching him for a while. You folks have probably seen him in your recommendeds just cuz for like a week the algorithm was very strongly favoring him, but he is a dude you call to come remove the hornets nests from your eaves or your attics or whatever. And he takes them home and he pops open the egg casings, the cells, and he pulls out all the little hornet larvae, and then he feeds them to his chickens. And while he's doing all this, he just has like this very friendly, calm conversation with you where he just talks about what he's been thinking about lately. And he has these tweezers out and he's
Um,
just plucking the larvae out of the broken up nest and then feeding them to the chickens. And he's good enough to hold the camera on the chickens while they eat.
Spike, we have very different algorithms. My algorithm would never
I
show
should
me that.
expect so.
Oh yeah. Though I will say my algorithm's been destroyed because of my goddamn cat.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Because I will, when she is getting antsy, I put on cat TV for her, where basically you just search for cat TV in YouTube, and there's all these people who run channels where they just will record 8 hours of birds eating bird feed outside their home, and it's specifically for cats to watch. And my cat really fucking loves it. Like she will sit on the sofa and stare and watch it and like stop
Hmm.
freaking out because she's still a hyper kitten. But
And that's all
now,
you get
yeah,
recommended.
now it's like, hi, we YouTube is not going to tell you that your favorite YouTubers all posted videos. We're just going to tell you about these 8 hour bird streams. It's like, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I have sent links to Matt, my husband. I've sent links and like, watch this. And he's like, no, because it's gonna fuck up my algorithm. I know what you watch. I don't want my
No,
algorithm all fucked up.
sometimes when you send me videos or have in the
Mhm.
past, I incognito
Oh,
tab it
yeah, that's probably the best move
because
because
I cannot.
I have
I just
specialized taste.
I just never watch anything you send me, Spike.
I've
Like
noticed.
Create Ball. Like I missed their last two videos, and I was just like, you motherfucker. The birds ruined it. But yeah, I like Create Ball. They
Um,
cover things I'm actually interested in that people just don't talk about. But they also do it in a really cute, fun way. They talk about cryptids and monsters from mythology and religious texts, and they talk about paleo stuff, and they're currently doing this All Tomorrows project where they basically just sort of summarize the All Tomorrows books with their own little illustrations, and I just fucking love how I love
Yeah.
how they have a very good way of summarizing things. I enjoy it a lot. It's also one of those things where I have not read those books, and it's one of those someday I will, and it has genuinely made me go, God, I need to finally fucking do it.
Yeah, the all tomorrow stuff. I remember when like kind of the internet first discovered M.H. Kozman or something. I think that's the
Yeah.
creator's name. It's close to that. But yeah, just
All
everybody.
tomorrows and what was it? All yesterdays or whatever.
Yeah, all tomorrows, all yesterdays, and
And then the
it's
other one. Oh, the other
What?
one.
I don't know about
These
these books.
are
What are
okay.
they?
So this author and artist, they basically make a bunch of speculative fiction books.
uh-huh.
They've
Mhm.
made one that's about speculative fiction in the past, like how could, for example, dinosaurs have been more interesting than maybe we've like. It's not necessarily scientifically accurate. They're really like stretching the plausibility of what certain fossils could mean, but like, what if these were tree dwelling ceratopsians and things like that? What would they have had to have been like to have been that way and stuff like that?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
then there's other books they do, which is more about what will human evolution be like in the future.
Yeah.
And it gets fucking weird, and they have different books that are different takes. One is like, well, what if humans just keep evolving naturally? Also, well, okay, here's a version where what if aliens fucking meddle in our evolution? There's another
Yeah.
one that's more about more oh, Kel, have you ever okay, have you ever seen this very bizarre meme that's like passed around like a Christmas greeting card that says like season's greetings, and it has this big orange yeti looking creature with a little white yeti looking creature on its back like clawing it?
No, I've not
Okay,
seen it.
that is most people's exposure
Yeah.
to his work, and that is actually it's I'll have to find it. I'll find
Man
it.
after man, yeah.
Yeah, man after man, and those are actually humans. Those
Yeah.
are meant to be two different humans in the future. One is attacking the other.
I would like to commit this to video really quick. Those designs, many of the designs in Man After Man, there is a strong likelihood they were stolen. There is a fantasy illustrator I really, really enjoy. His name is
I
Wayne
was
Douglas
unaware.
Barlow. His
Oh
name is
yeah,
Wayne
Barlow.
Douglas.
Yep.
And Wayne Douglas Barlow has posted in public in the past pages from his sketchbook that don't just strongly resemble certain people in Man After Man, but he says, these are some sketches I was developing for a book about the
Here, I
future
just
of human
posted it in
evolution.
the
And alas, another author saw these and plagiarized them for their own volume. Therefore, I
yeah,
will
it's
not be.
season's greetings. Yeah,
So
I'm
yeah,
gonna pop it in the video in the OBS. Let me grab it real quick.
the designs in Man After Man are plagiarized,
Okay.
and that annoys me. And that because we were deprived of a human evolution book by Wayne Douglas fucking Barlow, which would have been way better.
I mean, if I can be honest, I don't know why you'd. If these are designs, I don't like these designs.
Yeah, but Wayne drew them better.
Oh, okay. Here, I just shared the season's greeting meme. But yeah, they're very interesting books. It's one books I've been wanting to read for a long time. I just never got around to it, and Create Ball kind of like reignited that interest of like, oh, I gotta get the fuck on this.
I'm gonna really quickly pop something into the Discord for you folks to look at because this is just one of those little things I just carry in my soul. I have linked in the Discord a page called an Angel Fire page of all things, by the way, called
Plagiarism.
The Case Against
Oh,
Google
I see.
Dictionary, who is the creator of Man After Man. And you will note the images. And
Yeah.
yeah, so it fucking pisses me off. It pisses me because that we could have had that. We could have had that.
Um.
I mean, I feel like we could still have it because
Okay.
these are way better than.
Yeah, they're much.
Well, you said you're not going to do anything with them because someone else stole
I know.
them.
I'm just saying.
And just jerk.
A YouTuber I really like is Skip Intro.
Oh, not familiar with that one.
He talks about TV. Lately, off and on, he's been doing a series about propaganda. The funniest of which is about Paw Patrol.
Oh yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, the Paw Patrol is all dogs go to heaven except for those class traitors in Paw Patrol. And so he goes over like the first propaganda video is all about like how Dragnet had its scripts approved by the police before they uh started filming, and that was how they got permission to use like ripped from the headlines type stories. His newest propaganda video is about how cop shows really love to do fear mongering for fentanyl.
Yep.
And goes into like how it's nonsense and completely just fear mongering for the sake of fear mongering, propaganda wise. He talks about how spooky cops, TM, he always says it exactly like that, have gotten more and more conservative over the years. Spooky cops being Monster of the Week shows like X-Files or Buffy.
Okay.
And surprise, surprise, they got more conservative because of 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
And he but he does like other stuff too, like he reviewed Abbott Elementary, and talked about how he checked it out because Donald Glover said it was his favorite show. And network sitcom being Donald Glover's favorite show is not a thing you would think of. But it's partly because Abbott Elementary is really bringing to light the problems of underfunding a public school in a sitcom, which makes it like way more like
accessible,
getting that message out to a wider audience. Because while everyone praises like Succession and Atlanta and all these other prestige TV shows, not a lot of people watch those. Like obviously a lot of people watch them, but not like most of America. So this person is getting, the writers on Abbott Elementary are getting a progressive message out to like middle America in a way that can maybe get them to get their heads out of their asses.
maybe.
Oh yeah, there's another YouTuber I like who's a kind of a smaller YouTuber who updated. Thank you, birds, for not killing this one in my feed.
And he also talked about Abbott Elementary is one of the TV shows out there that is about teachers. Because while teachers are in a lot of TV shows, they're very rarely the protagonists.
Yeah.
12 Tone is a YouTuber, and again, I was reminded because the algorithm didn't bury this one. They're a relatively smallish YouTuber who does music theory and stuff. And one of my favorite things about their music theory is they draw their talking points as they say, like as part of their videos visuals, like on sheets, blank sheet music. And it's just really cute. I just really like it. They just have these little visual representations of what they're saying, these little doodles, and I like it.
Cute.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna go through
Not allowed.
my YouTubes and see if I have anyone. I'm not gonna recommend all the people everyone already
Dank Pods
already
updated. Dank Pods.
So let's see what we got here. Because God, like this is like
I've
90%
mentioned her
of
before, but I still really like Broy Deschanel.
I have an opinion that perhaps I will save for after the show.
I have so many fucking
In fact,
followers.
I'm gonna type it.
This is like 99% of what I watch these days, mostly because I can just like stick it on the other monitor while I work and it can just go, you know what I mean? So I don't have to like think that hard about it. Man, I watch a lot of true crime stuff. I should probably not do that. But in case this person has less than 500,000 followers, so I'm going to recommend them. There is a channel that is an essay channel that is fucking fantastic, made exactly to my tastes, to my order, that is called Atrocity Guide. And Atrocity Guide talks about various unusual parts of both life and the internet. I would recommend the ones I would recommend most to anyone who's like interested in like, should I watch this channel? Should I subscribe? Is they have something about breatharianism. That's just called The Strange World of Breatharianism. And those are people who quite literally believe eating is optional and they are fucking photosynthetic. That they go out and sit in the sun and that is how they will gain sustenance. And that food simply poisons the body. And if you do breatharianism correctly, you will never need to eat again. These are real people.
And if you die, you just did it wrong.
If you die, you did it wrong. There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
And I also recommend something that it feels like sometimes you feel like you're taking crazy pills because only you remember a thing that happened and it like used to be huge, but you never see anyone talk about it. And that would be the story of Bob's Game, which is another Atrocity Guide thing. Bob's Game it was fucking weird. I was there for that. And it's a guy who absolutely desperately wanted to make a game.
Oh, yeah, I watched the video about that.
And
Is this the guy who said that the sun told him to stop?
No, this is someone totally different. This predates Kickstarter by a decade at least.
Okay.
And this is a guy
Wait, I thought that is the guy.
No. No, this is totally someone different. Bob's Game is about a guy who wanted to make a game for the Nintendo Entertainment System, but to do that you need a dev kit, and he was trying to get a dev kit, and Nintendo wouldn't send him one because he's a guy. He's not a studio. He's not a developer. He's just a guy. And keep in mind, this was back in the day before everyone had like access to Godot and all the other engines, and it was kind of feasible that you could make a game by yourself. But Bob didn't have all that, and he was making a game, and it looked to be a real shit stupid game. No offense, Bob out there, but he was so single-mindedly determined to fulfill his dream of having a game on the Nintendo that he did all these weird publicity stunts. Like, I'm going to lock myself in a room until I get Nintendo's attention and they send me a dev kit so I can make my game for their console. And I will sit with a webcam on me and a LED marquee sign scrolling above me, chronicling the days. And, Nintendo, do this. If I die, it'll be your fault. It's Bob's Game was really fucking weird. That was back when Something Awful was a really big thing, and a lot of people on Something Awful followed him because they're like, you won't believe what this fucking lunatic is doing right now. It was weird. I strongly recommend Bob versus Nintendo, the story of Bob's Game on Atrocity Guide.
I like The Budget Museum.
The Budget Museum?
It's a YouTube channel called The Budget Museum.
I'm going to go look at it.
They just do like little like paleo profiles and weird animal facts. And one of my favorite videos they did was a bad cryptid museum.
Oh dear.
Where they just talked about really bad fake cryptids.
Okay.
I really like it. It's fun presentation.
Yeah. There was kind of a mania for cryptids for a while there,
yeah.
wasn't there? Yeah.
There still is.
Here's the thing. We kind of live in this period now where you have to try extra hard because
no, not at all true, Spike.
No, the majority of humanity has an HD camera in their pocket that could have a photo on the internet in 10 minutes.
That has not stopped them.
No, I'm not saying it stopped them. What I'm saying is back in the day, if you wanted your own Nessie, kind of all you had to do was get 2 or 3 locals to be like, and I saw it crossing the road. And it's like, oh, really? And the next thing you know, you have like 500 people down there and you could set up your stall and you could sell homemade pies, which was like 90% of the fucking motivation behind this shit. People selling t-shirts and pies and hotel rooms and meals and popcorn because people can't.
Yeah, now they just do travel. They just do travel channel shows.
Yeah, and it's just like there was a capitalistic motivation behind lying about. Well, yeah, I mean, we still live in capitalism, but there was a capitalistic motivation back in the day behind lying about that kind of shit. It's the same motivation that caused countries, upon the creation of interstate highways, to do things like make world's largest ball of yarn. It's a dumb fucking thing. But the thing is, the idea was to get people to stop and come and look at it so you could sell them popcorn and t-shirts.
So and I'm going to say this because I don't like to be one of those people where like, oh, I learned something from a YouTuber and I'm going to pretend this is knowledge I acquired myself. I don't like to do that. So there's a YouTuber I like called Trey the Explainer. Again,
love him.
Yep. and he did a lot of videos about cryptid profiles. And that is how I learned and became aware of the fact that there is a not insignificant number of cryptids that pretty much exist and are popularized by creationists, and that is their entire point of existing, is racist creationists
Yep.
clinging to these cryptids as if somehow they will prove creationism. And it's fucking wild to think about. Like, there's all these cryptids out there that are just we're gonna pretend we all still believe there's a monster in the woods because it brings in capital, and it's fun, and we have fun with it. And then there's a whole other thing of, we are going to fraud a creature to prove creationism, and it's like, whoa.
I think that's Loy's ape is one of the big ones of those.
The one in Africa, I can't say the sauropod in Africa.
Yeah, there was a huge motivation by people. Like, there was this sort of like halfway period that a lot of
and the ropin.
Yeah, there was this halfway period in sort of archaeology, paleontology, anthropology that isn't really acknowledged right now. Because here's the thing: archaeology, paleontology, anthropology used to be almost cartoonishly racist. Like, there are still racists in those fields now, but literally there were people who were trying to mold the entire science into following their like insanely racist ideology. And one of those racist ideologies that they were trying to literally force down the throat of science for nearly a century was that, okay, we accept humans. Darwin was probably right. Humans evolved from apes. At that time, they would have called themselves lesser apes. We
are talking a little cryptozoology,
but the idea that they really enjoyed at that point was Black people evolved from this kind of ape, and people in the Americas evolved from this kind of ape, and peoples in Asia evolved from this kind of ape, and we all evolved from completely different species of apes, because they really, back in the day, paleontologists, archaeologists, anthropologists, a lot of them really did not fucking like the idea that humans evolved in Africa, that the first human being was African. As what we would call them now, Homo sapien, I guess is the best way to put it, because there's been a lot of retooling these days where it's like, Homo florensis is a human, and Neanderthals are humans, and Homo erectus is human, and the Denisovians are humans. Those are all humans. So, saying the first human being is kind of a misnomer, but the first Homo sapiens was African, and there are people who devoted their entire fucking careers to trying to make that not true. And big part of that was trying to find other places humans evolved, and if they couldn't find them because they weren't there, they just made them the fuck up. And that's where a lot of ape cryptids did come from. Like,
the I can't ever say this one either. The one in Britain, the
Piltdown Man?
Yes, thank you. The P. I just remember the P.
Yeah, Piltdown Man was an interesting thing because there are people who were like really fucking married to this idea that humanity evolved in concise, neat little steps. Like, first we got a big brain, and then for a long time we were a monkey with a really big brain, and then our body sort of shrunk to match. And people liked this, by the way, because it was in line in their minds with biblical history, because there are parts of the Bible in the Old Testament that would talk about how people used to be like 15, 20 feet tall. And
some people.
Yeah, some people. What they decided that meant,
not all people,
was that humanity had shrunk over the millennia and had become less, like brutish and animalistic. And now they were at, their highest form in this evolved, big brain, delicate boned, gracile Homo sapiens form. So they liked the idea that, at some point we were all like 12 feet tall. And then we became smarter and smarter, so we got smaller and smaller, which is where there's like a lot of insidious history behind things that today people are like, haha, that's cute and funny. Like the idea of the Cardiff giant, like that there are giants in the Bible and they dug a giant up and they're like, oh yeah, look, the Bible is true, therefore, like shit like that. And
Yeah.
Piltdown Man was part of that, where it was an orangutan jaw on a human brain case, because it's like, oh, look, not only can we say that human beings evolved in England, phew, but not Africa, phew, or not France, ew, yuck. Because Germany was having a lot of like discoveries back then too, and frankly, there was a lot of European intercountry rivalry back then, because it was just all a bunch of rich dudes swinging their dicks around. That's what like that science started out as.
which is really fucking funny. Like, even if like the origins of man were like in that air, like Europe,
Mm-hmm.
to lay claim to one fucking country is really fucking funny because of how small that area is. It's like, it's all of, if it happened here, it's technically all of y'all know that, right? Like, it's not fucking one of y'all.
Yeah, it's
Um,
I especially recommend, if anyone who's not familiar with how weird like the study of prehistory, I guess is the best way to put it, could get, I recommend just Google the Bone Wars.
Oh yeah.
And you will see some crazy shit.
Bone Wars are fun. There's definitely multiple videos and books about it.
Yeah.
What are you saying, Kel?
So this is, I was waiting for you guys to finish your thing.
Oh, no, I'm not going to finish. This is going to be a brief pause before I start talking about the roping.
My cryptid tangent is the one of the YouTubers I follow, he visited all the places in the Fallout games on a road trip.
Yeah.
And one of the last things is he goes to like the home of Mothman, which has a giant statue of Mothman in it. And he says, and this isn't related to Fallout, but I would just like to say kudos to the sculptor for deciding that the Mothman should have the juiciest ass. And then he like zooms in on the statue of the Mothman. And it's just like a perfectly sculpted butt on this monster.
My favorite thing about the Mothman statue is that's not even the agreed upon appearance of Mothman in that area.
No, they just decided that's to have juicy butt.
Well, not like the entire design, I mean. Like, that's the entire design is not the agreed upon Mothman in the area, but like that's the statue and now it's there. What you gonna fucking do about it? Take it down? No.
Yeah, I think there really was, I want to say Lake Champlain. It might have been Lake Champlain, but there was a lake in, I think it was the US or Canada, where they just straight up, like, they were more naked about it than kind of anybody else, where they just really made a contraption out of like rubber and bellows and like an engine to fill it up. And it wasn't shaped like a brontosaurus or anything, but it was just like a lump. And they would put it in the lake. And when they knew people were going to be by the lake, they would inflate it so it would float to the surface, and then it would sink after they deflated it. So there really were sightings of something weird in the lake. And those sightings were by multiple people who all saw it and had a consistent description of it and were kind of morally unassailable. Like, they had nothing to gain by saying there was something in the lake, whereas the guy who put all this together had a hotel.
One of my favorite things about cryptids is like cryptids almost always say something more interesting about the people who made it up than it does about like the cryptid itself. Like cryptids in and of themselves are like not interesting. Like, this is a big monkey and it doesn't exist. I'm sorry. But like what caused people to believe in it and perpetuate it is always way more fascinating. Like, my favorite thing about the creationists and their almost like, and this is across the board because of course it can't be any other way, because they want to prove that dinosaurs and humans had coexisted at some point. All of their, their specimens are based on how dinosaurs were known at the time. Like, and that obviously gives the game away because we know dinosaurs weren't like that anymore.
Yeah.
So like, but all their creatures and their fake proof and their fake bones and their fake like wall art is based on, none of it was speculative or looked forward. They're just like, yeah, this is what we know dinosaurs are like this. They're iguanas, and it's like, no.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very fun. It's extremely fun. Like the roping. Have you heard about the roping, Kel?
No.
Basically, it is a lot of young Earth creationists like the roping. They think it proves that dinosaurs are a lot of them think if they can prove that there are extant non-bird dinosaurs, they can prove creationism. It's weird. Instead of just like, oh, these are living fossils. Like, one, it's not possible in general, but two, all that would mean to me is like, oh, a living fossil, neat. But the roping is supposed to be a very old school, like, children's toy pterodactyl that glows in the dark and eats and digs up graves to eat them. And they believe this creature actually exists. And they go on expeditions to find it. Now, in the present day. Same with the sauropod.
Great.
I think it's I'm looking this up. Mokele Membe, I think.
Yeah.
It's basically in Africa, and it's a sauropod that definitely doesn't exist because it's a fucking sauropod, like a brachiosaur or whatever. There are some groups of creationists who still invest tons of money to this day. I think they only got slowed down by COVID. Who invest tons of money to go and try to find it still, because they really do think, like, if we can prove it exists, bam.
Which is super fucking bizarre.
That will prove that dinosaurs and humans coexisted, and
it's one of those things that,
it's
like,
fucking wild.
It's like it kind of betrays this total misunderstanding. I think a mistake that a lot of young Earth creationists, evolution denialists, all kinds of people like that make is they think everyone else is as married to dogmatic declarations of certainty as they are. And science, good science, properly practiced science is not about dogmatic declarations of certainty. And if a scientist is presented with, and this kind of goes in hand with the whole, oh, they're hiding the truth. It's like, no. If
a scientist wouldn't be tearing those forests up looking
it's
for
like
that dinosaur.
A scientist that discovers something heretofore unknown isn't burned at the stake. They are given a Nobel Prize and a professorship. If somebody straight up came across something... Yeah.
I was going to say, so much so that there's a YouTube video about a guy who faked multiple
Bobby
elements
Broccoli.
Bobby Broccoli's great.
Bobby Broccoli. I live for Bobby.
Iris linked me to the fake cloning video that guy made.
About South Korea trying to establish itself as a leader in cloning.
Yeah, fun.
And then the other one being the guy that fighting all the elements.
Oh yeah, 3-star night. No, the people that are acting as the guides for the people doing those missionaries to Africa are absolutely making bank. They are absolutely like, oh, here they come. All right, everybody, remember what we said? Yeah, we saw it. It was over there. If you pay us, we'll take you to where we saw it.
Absolutely, and Momoko Memble or whatever it's fucking called.
Mokele Membe. Damn it!
Yeah, it's that one. But yeah, I actually...
Mokele Membe. I had to look at the word to say
about how that went down, and it's just like a bunch of fucking Europeans in their stereotypical ass pith helmets would show up, and they would be talking to the people who actually lived in the area, going, what kind of animals around here? And they'd be like, well, shit, man. And they'd list a few, and they'd be like, okay, have you ever seen anything like this? No. Think hard. No. Could you have been mistaken? Could you have seen something? Could you have maybe thought it was an elephant, but really it was a giant lizard?
Yeah.
And they're just like sitting there, and the European is like, holding something they want, a gun, a carton of cigarettes, some cans of chipped beef, and they go, I guess. And then that gets written up in their fucking report to the Explorers Club as the natives confirm the beast lurks in these woods.
Oh, yeah.
That's not how it goes down.
It's also because they're also like banking on the stupid stereotype that the people like in the different places they go like are cut off from the rest of the world. Like they don't got TV or books and they've never seen like a dinosaur in media. Like, no, you don't understand. These people don't know what a dinosaur is, so they can't be lying to us. It's like, fuck off.
Yeah, they definitely
fuck right off.
And again, here's the thing. Even if these people went down there and found that fucking thing, an honest to God sauropod living in the African jungle, if they found that thing tomorrow,
I would ride it.
It doesn't disprove anything.
I would ride it.
It's like, okay,
but
cool.
Spike,
you know what else was
is
around at the time of dinosaurs and is around now?
Alligators
crocodiles. Yeah, crocodiles. Coelacanths have been around for how many millions of years? It's like, this doesn't fucking prove anything.
In a form, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's another thing they love to say. They love to talk about how the coelacanth is unchanged. It's like, no. It's just largely its changes are so minor because it hasn't had to change. Same with like different crocodilians. It's like there have been changes. It's just there haven't been huge changes to the form because why fix it? It ain't broken. Yeah, it makes me think of the concept of, and I'm sure we're all familiar with the term, but in case anyone isn't, it makes me think of the concept of the God of the Gaps. And the God of the Gaps is something I see a lot of people cling to, where it's just like, I need you to look up and look around and realize what you're doing. Which is, imagine two people, and one of them goes, God is definitely real, because every morning the sun rises, and every evening the sun sets, and it always happens, and you can't explain it, therefore God did it. And then you fast forward, and second person goes, oh, wow, I read a fascinating book about the rotation of the Earth and its orbit around the sun. So that is why we perceive it as the sun rising and setting. It's not something God's doing. It's the sun, it's the Earth moving around the sun, which is responsible for a lot of interesting things. Here's the book. And the first person sort of goes, okay, all right. But you can't explain to me why sometimes it's hot and sometimes it's cold if we're just moving around the sun. Sometimes there's snow and then sometimes there's not snow. Therefore, God did it. And it just becomes this sort of like absurd thing where God is responsible for everything people don't have a valid theory for or a justifiable theory for. But as the knowledge of science accrues and as we learn more about the universe, God shrinks. And suddenly God is responsible for less and less and less. And the flop sweat starts to bead on people's foreheads as they try to find more gaps for God to rule over. But the gaps are getting smaller and smaller and smaller as human knowledge expands. And that's like kind of the concept of the God of the Gaps. And it's one of those things where it's like when people say, oh, God is punishing you by giving you HIV. And it's like, your God kind of sucks if... First of all, he's giving HIV to babies. And secondly, your God made a disease that 30 years...
It's time to shit on your religion. Welcome to the show.
It's just, no, if you do believe that God gave people AIDS as punishment, I'm definitely tripping on your religion. You're garbage if you believe that.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just like, you really want to like claim for your God something that 30 years of dedicated human research can overcome. Your God doesn't sound very powerful. But yeah. 3-star night, infinite goalpost moving. Exactly. Infinite, never, just no matter what, never satisfied. Oh yeah, being the response to everything. It's all like, this is not consistent. This is not sensible. I'm an atheist, in case you couldn't tell.
I mean, I am too. I'm not as passionate as you.
No, well, the thing that bugs me most about everything is there is a pattern that emerges in a lot of religions, and the pattern is abuse.
Yeah.
It's an abuse of authority.
I know.
And I'm not naive enough to think
Spike.
that if religion didn't exist, abuse wouldn't exist. But I think religion is unusually well suited to enable abuse.
It
That
is,
is-
but at the same time, I wish all the time that I was religious.
Yeah, it would give me peace if I honestly thought I was
yeah.
immortal in my heart. If
Well,
I
not
thought I was
even
immortal, it
that.
would give me
It's not even
peace.
the immortal thing. There's just a lot of things that I wish I believed because I think it would probably soothe me a lot.
Yeah.
I,
There are definitely times I've wished
my
hell
heart
was
is
real.
still technically open. It's just,
Mhm.
I have been
Yeah.
hoit. Like I was an Awana. Like I got
Yeah.
fucking deep into the sauce.
Yeah. Yeah, you did mention about your baptism, which is the saddest fucking thing I've ever
Fuck
heard in my
off.
life. Oh my god, the saddest fucking thing.
Only I'm allowed to say it's sad and laugh about it. Go away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not you.
It was
Get
so
out of here.
sad. It
I'll
was so sad.
pick you up by your pants. Show up to your house and shame your dog.
Don't shame my dog. She goes through enough agony.
It'll be worth it.
My diaper
To get
dog.
to you.
Speaking of which, hello, Lucinda Lee. How are you, sweetie? My pretty girl came to say hi to me. Hi, Lu. Oh God, you stink so bad.
Smelly dog.
Oh, Lucy wears diapers. Hold on, let me. I gotta check on our diaper. Hold on. Oh God. Oh. Okay, I'm going to ask Kel and Amanda to be buds and take over for a minute because my dog is here because she wants her diaper changed.
Yeah, sure. Just mute yourself.
I will be right back, everyone. Take it away, y'all.
Remember to mute yourself.
Don't you tell me how to live.
Okay. Kel, it's just us now.
Yes. Just us. What? You didn't type your thing in the
Oh,
the
because I
chat.
forgot what it
Oh.
was. That's why I told you already. I forgot what it was.
Oh, okay.
No, that's like my thing. I will forget things. Again, I think I have the ADHD and I have that referral to a psychiatrist. And I need to actually do it. We've entered the same loop that I was in previously in Texas of, okay, I have this referral. Now to actually follow through. Oh no, what is very likely ADHD is keeping me from following through. Uh-oh. So I need to just fucking do that. But no, I completely forgot. Oh wait, no, I remember. I'm gonna type it. I just remembered.
Okay. Type.
Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, I'm stuck in the endless loop of, I think I have ADHD. I should get to the psychiatrist and get that taken care of. Oh, I have my referral now. Let's go do that. Then I just don't do that. But yeah, I super like cryptids, and it's just they're funky little dudes, and I fucking love like the weird shit that goes into them.
I've been watching The Great North, which is a cartoon made by the Bob's Burgers folks. And they put a Yeti in the background of every episode, like a secret Yeti for all the viewers to find.
Yetis and big feet are so fascinating because it's like what people are proposing. It's not even the size or the location that makes them so preposterous. It's the fact that they're solitary apes, and that's never really been a thing. Like solitary apes are just not a thing. So the ideas of like there just being one, you never see two, is like bizarre. And it's so interesting, like, no, that's the most implausible thing about a Bigfoot. It's not the size, it's not the location, it's just the fact that, like, that they're solitary, and that's just not a thing.
Yeah. But I love little Easter eggs like that in animation. Just the secret Yeti.
Gotcha.
And now I can find all the Yetis.
See, I'm the kind of person you could point that out to me and I'd still miss it every time. Because when I actually watch things, I just kind of don't pay attention to little things like that. I get kind of absorbed. Then again, you've seen how I am when I watch things. I like brain turn off, drool, watch the thing. Oh, hello. Yes, burp burp. So Ravioli got spayed Tuesday, and she is in recovery, and she is in that phase of cat is uncomfortable, but cat is a cat. Cat does not know how to solve discomfort, so cat is going to be very, very needy and want all your attention and love.
I just shared with you Secret Yetis.
Yeah, neat. Bless her heart. In fact, I was supposed to take a nap before the show, but so I was going to take a little nap, and she was like, "Oh, you're stationary. I want to lie on your
Now I'm
face."
gonna sit on you. Yeah.
Not just sit on me. She wanted to actively rub her face on my face over and over and over and over. And it's like, but if she would just stay still and sleep with me, that would have been great. But no, it was oh, you're stationary. I'm going to roll all over you. Get ready. And it's like, oh, why? I love you so much. Why are you like this? I know it's temporary. She will get over it. But it's like, ugh. I did this.
She's always gonna want to sit on you.
No. Well, I don't mind her wanting to sit on me. That's fine. It's the current neediness of pet me constantly. I'm uncomfortable. Please, please, please. I need reassurance 24/7. That's like, I literally can't. Like, I was trying to take a bath earlier too. And if I let my hand like dangle over the side of the bath, she would just run up and start like rubbing all over my arm and would not stop. She like was rubbing on my arm for like, God, 10 minutes nonstop. It was like, I need this arm. I need it. But I feel like a monster trying to take it back.
Poor baby.
She's again, I did this to her. I got her spayed.
I mean, it was for her benefit.
It was for her benefit, absolutely. Little weird. So I'm just staring her down now.
She pisses so much.
Go away.
I'm back. Lucy's better. She's all dry now. And Lucy, being an elderly dog, it's important to keep weight on her. So I went ahead and fed her, and she got a couple of treats. And
I didn't authorize that.
And some vitamin E oil, and she's already had her arthritis medication for the day, so I held off on that. But yeah. My poor old dog. I got a little old dog, and she needs a little help sometimes. Although she can't have too much help.
3-star night. It's actually a little bit worse than the wet cat fur bathtub arm, because I'm a large lady and I make for a great bridge. So she is like, oh, I can stand on you and still be dry. And it's like, no. So she still will try to like, especially now that she's like wants attention. I'm in the bath and she's just like, oh, I can stand on you on your chest and be dry. And it's like, God fucking damn it. So I'm constantly having to like cut her off at the pass because she's a kitty. She's quicker than I am. I am a large, slow, tired lady, and she is a spry little baby. So she will be like, I'm on your chest. I'm like, no, God damn it. She got me. She's so quick.
You.
Yeah, I'm a little tired.
Hmm.
As soon as we're done with this, I'm going to do a little work. I'm going to go play Warframe.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
I'm enjoying it.
I have been playing Sailwind, and I recommend it.
I've been playing Warframe, but I can't say I recommend it because almost everybody who already wants to play it is already playing it.
Yeah.
I have been playing RimWorld.
Naturally.
I have learned that you cannot steal your prisoner's sperm. You have to enslave them first, and then you can take their sperm.
Starting at age 13, I believe.
Yes. Because I made my usual mad scientist lesbian colony. And I was like, well, they need sperm to make the next generation. Was very annoyed that I couldn't just take prisoner sperm. So we had to enslave them first.
Ye old RimWorld.
Yeah. I had something similar. I had a mechanist who kind of hated everybody and wanted no human beings around her. But I was all like, I need to, she needs to have kids though, because I just want more than one person in the colony. It's not as interesting as it could be with just one human being. And so she captured a child that arrived begging at her doorsteps and enslaved him and waited until he turned 13, at which point she had already like she was like in her 50s, but she had like removed a bunch of eggs and had them and had them frozen and waiting. And so he just spooted on the eggs and raised a daughter. And eventually she fell in love with him and I had to free him and they got married, which was not what I expected because she was so antisocial.
See, I just like Warframe because I think all the robot people are extremely sexy. There are some Warframes that are.
Maybe that's why Matt likes Warframe too. My husband loves Warframe.
I'm just saying, the player characters, the Warframes that you can play as, they are. Some of them are fucking hot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Mommy Robot, thank you. Thank you for Mommy Robot with giant hammer. Thank you. Thank you for this gift.
The thing that makes me that like is kind of fascinating to me about Warframe 2 is like I said, my husband Matt, he plays it sometimes and I peeked in on his play sessions and there's like this whole chapter concerning this race of people who are fully human except for their heads. So they have these like normal human bodies made of flesh and bone, wearing clothes and all that. But their heads are just like metal boxes and
yeah. Oh yeah.
yet I'm pretty sure they are robots, not cyborgs. I don't think there's a meat brain in there. So it's like these robots have transplanted themselves onto human bodies, and like when you look at that, you're just like,
oh yeah,
where are the heads? Where are the fucking heads?
I just started playing, and I'm just now kind of vaguely understanding the world building. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's very fucking fun.
Yeah.
And also, a lot of the robot people are very hot. There's one named Titania with a very long neck. Her neck is so fucking long. She's so hot. She's so fucking hot. I want that one.
Oh, it's funny.
There's the one that looks like a clown's harlequin squid. I want that one.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking hot. I want Korra. She's hot. No, I specifically want Korra Prime. She looks like an Egyptian goddess covered in gold who is going to murder you and eat your guts, and I want her. She's so hot.
Good.
I'm glad you find fulfillments.
I do.
Yeah. For my part, Sailwind, I've made a whole thread about it on Twitter, about the game that I've been playing for like an hour every morning these days. And what it is just you have a little ship and you live in a group of islands and you trade. And that's it. You don't even have a body model.
Boo.
You're just invisible. It's really it's one of those things where it's definitely not for everyone, but it's very much for me.
No, I think I would get into this, but boo.
Yeah, the sailing mechanics, once you actually master them, you feel so cool. Like when you figure out the best way to go about things. Like you check the wind and you adjust the tack on the sail, and then you're like, oh, should I unfurl the stay sail? Am I going to be ready for that, or do I leave it furled and just set the wheel and go? It's super fucking fun. And I made a terrible mistake in my last playthrough that I do not plan on making again. I got away with it. I didn't deserve to get away with it, but I did. Which is I loaded up 3 crates of copper from the copper mining island to go trade in the city. And I had water sloshing over into the boat the whole time. Big waves were breaking over me. And in this game, your boat can sink and fucking kill you. And I was like, oh God, I'm never doing this again. I'm never doing this again. It's not worth the $1,000 of profit I'm in for. I'm never doing this again. And yeah, I made it. It took me about 2.5 times as long as usual because of the weight.
Okay, so it was the weight that was the problem.
Yeah. The ship I have has a 1,000-pound weight limit.
Spike got greedy.
And I was really pushing it. I had like 700 something.
Bless you.
Isn't height.
It's allergies.
Get over
Congratulations. I bet you're loving it.
it. Overcome.
Oh, have I mentioned to you, Kel? I can sympathize with you because I know you have digestive stuff going on with Nightshade family. Vegetables and fruits and stuff. Yeah, my digestion has turned delicate this year as well, and I have been doing a process of elimination over what's doing it. For a while now, I've been extremely wary of sodies, specifically energy drinks. I can literally no longer have energy drinks. So I've gone from like 2 or 3 a day to 0, which fucking sucks. But I experimented yesterday and it is clear I can also not have coffee. It is not the caffeine that's bothering me because I now take caffeine pills and those are
It's
fine,
the acid.
but it's something and it gives me gastritis like fucking whoa. Like actually lie on the couch in pain gastritis for the rest of the day. So I can't have stuff I used to love.
I'm gonna assume it's the acid.
Mm-hmm.
Try coffee. I mean, not
Yeah.
coffee. Tea.
Yeah, tea's
Um,
fine. Tea's fine.
Yeah, I can't
so
relate.
that's I switched to tea because of the acid in coffee.
Yeah.
Unless I put a lot of milk in it, it was
Yeah.
also giving me heartburn.
Cannot
Aging.
relate. I have
Shut up. Shut up.
guts that don't never fail me ever.
We'll see. Get back to me when you're 44. We'll see.
There's a joke there, just you forgot.
Amanda, they
Yeah.
do fail you because you are allergic to shellfish.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, that's right. Okay. All right.
I was
okay.
just Spike forgot about me.
It's just,
Spike
you
just-
seem so healthy and robust compared to me.
Oh no, I'm fucked up. I just don't care. Like, here's the thing. I'm one of those people, I don't know if it's just like a high pain tolerance or just a high tolerance in general. My guts are fucked up almost every day. I just don't care.
Mm,
I don't know. I just deal with it
mm.
and
Yeah,
I move on.
it sucks really bad. I have been in incredibly intense pain because I ate and drank the wrong thing recently.
I
and
was
it just sucks.
explaining to someone how to tell if I can eat pizza or not. Because tomatoes are nightshades.
Yeah.
But really, really shitty pizza, that tomato sauce probably does not have tomatoes
That's
actually
just
in
corn
it.
syrup.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. So when I look at the menu for a pizza place, do they have cheese pizza or do they have margarita pizza?
Mm-hmm.
And if they have margarita pizza, I should not eat there.
Okay.
I like
That's
the
an
way you say
interesting way of
margarita. I don't know how to describe it. There's a slight accent to it, and I like it.
It's probably a Boston accent.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I'll take Prilosec.
It's
I
not.
do. I take a Prilosec every morning these days, J-Man 500.
Nope, I just poop my brains out, and then I'm good.
Because now I'm an old fucking woman. I have to I'd be concerned.
I think also the difference is, like, most of my tummy problems, once I eliminate them, I'm good the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So I think my days are probably numbered.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
About me getting
sure.
away with that.
Yeah, definitely. It's coming.
Like, I drink my like, people are like, don't energy drinks mess up your tummy? Oh yeah, for like an hour, but then that hour's over.
No, it's coming.
Or
It's
maybe
coming.
it never will. Maybe I am
consume Prilosec. Yes, I have to. I have to consume Prilosec.
Maybe I'm fine. I can
Maybe
just
you'll be
continue
fine
my
with that.
lifestyle and never change.
Yeah.
I can still have energy drinks.
I genuinely fucking miss Ultra Peachy Keen Monster. Genuinely. And I can't have it now. I just straight up can't.
The Dreamsicle monster. Very nice.
Yeah. Just sucks. Just fucking sucks.
See, my problem is I hate the taste of coffee.
Mm,
It's just nasty shit.
yeah.
I've had people go, no, you need the good stuff. Like, no, there's the way coffee is meant to taste is what I don't like.
I used to drink it black because I liked it. I was totally now it just destroys my stomach.
It reminds me of people who are like, oh, you don't like beer, you just haven't had good beer. It's like, no. What beer is meant to taste like is what I don't like. I've been taken to, like, what's it, like, these bars in Austin that had
places,
that had like 50 different taps. Like, you can try a little of everything, and it's like sip black, Sip, black,
Mhm.
sip. It's like, oh, you don't like anything. It's like, no,
Yeah.
none of this. No, thank you. I do love $3 Moscato. Yeah, thank you, Aldi's. I'll take
I was
that.
about to say, do you live near a Trader Joe's or something? But yeah.
There is a Trader Joe's. I just don't go there. It's a little
Yeah.
it's easier to go to Aldi's.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm aware. I do not drink myself, but I am aware of the $4 chuck. So I know a lot of
This
people
is
go to Trader Joe's.
a thing that Spike would never be able to relate to. A thing as I've never that I am so annoyed about is I now get hungover so easily that
Yep.
like I not get drunk. I will just be hungover.
Oh wow. Like instant you take a sip, whoop, hungover.
Yeah. Yeah, in
No, it's
case you
more
folks,
like I take a sip, and because I don't get buzzed or drunk, I don't realize I'm going to pay for it the next morning.
yeah,
Ah.
for folks who
Um,
aren't aware, I literally do not drink alcohol. So that's why Kel said that.
Yeah.
yeah.
And my husband is in the chat
So
saying, I still drink energy drinks like water until I start to notice heart palpitations. Maybe don't do that.
yeah, don't do that, Matt.
No.
But yeah,
That's what I do.
I
It's
was telling
fine. It's fine. If
to bring it back to Discworld, plus that my situation, and Iris was like, "Oh, so you're Bilious, the old god of hangovers."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yes."
The Kel McDonald experience. To bring it back to Discworld.
I
Yeah.
have actually discovered I'm one of those people, if I drink a little, it actually perks me up and wakes me up and makes me kind of energetic.
Mm-hmm.
So if I drink a little bit, I'll get energetic and want to do stuff. That's
So
probably
like glass
just
of
like,
wine or
huh?
glass of wine or
Or just like soju and milk or something.
mm-hmm.
Just something little like a shot. That usually does me pretty good. Anything beyond that, and it's like Amanda does not get. Well, depends on what I'm drinking. I have also learned different alcohols fuck me up different. I can't have tequila.
Oh.
It fucks me up instantly. Like Amanda's on the floor and she's crying.
Oh.
And I don't know what it is about it. I don't know what it is. I think someone explained it to me once, but I don't remember. But tequila like makes me sick. But whiskey, I can drink whiskey and just sit there and be like, I'm having a pleasant time.
Oh.
But no, there's something I forget about what someone explained it to me once and it went right over my
It's
head.
probably the sugar content.
Well,
That's usually
I
the
thought
reason.
isn't most of alcohol sugar?
A lot of, but like some have more than others.
Ah.
So it might be that's why.
I see. Yeah, no, it just makes me like, oh, I take a sip of tequila and it's like someone took a baseball bat to my head and it's like, oh, great. Amanda's day is ruined. Goodbye. Could be it could be an allergic reaction. Maybe I'm allergic to like agave plant or something.
I mean, possibly.
Well, but I've had agave syrup. I don't know if it's maybe the same thing and it hasn't affected me. I don't know, man.
It could be the way that it's processed in a syrup destroys what you're allergic to.
True.
Because I'm allergic to an enzyme in raw pineapples. But if you cook the pineapple, it kills that enzyme. So I can eat cooked pineapple, okay. But raw pineapple, my guts will be mad at me. I will be in pain for several hours.
Yeah, when it's not something that fucks me up, I'm a very cheap date because it's like I will nurse a single drink all night and be like, I'm good, I'm tipsy already. Anything more? And I don't remember the night.
Oh.
So I just nurse my one drink and I am pleased. Though I think my tolerance is getting higher slowly. I guess that's how it works.
That's not how it usually goes.
Huh?
Well, no, if you drink more, you get more tolerant.
Yeah, but as you age, your tolerance usually goes down.
It depends. If you keep on drinking, it keeps getting higher.
All right, fair enough.
I mean, who knows? Who fucking knows how my body do?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Oh my gosh, lots of
There's
sirens
a reason why,
outside.
like,
They're coming for you, Amanda.
stereotype
No!
is drink. There's the stereotype is usually like drinks like a middle-aged something, like insert some blue collar job.
Yeah.
Um, because you have a high tolerance because that is a person who drinks a lot.
Hmm. Yeah, for what it's worth, by the way, folks, I do consume alcohol, and quite
In your
frankly,
food.
most people do. But yeah, I consider alcohol a cooking ingredient. I go through Shaoxing cooking wine, for example, when I'm making Chinese food. When I make beef bourguignon, I go and buy an entire bottle of wine and I put it in there. So I consider it because alcohol chemically does interesting things to meat and to acids. And so it is a flavor component of a dish. And that's how I consume it. But I am personally not, and this is not a sort of morality judgment. I am not a sit down with alcohol in a cup kind of person. It's just not been a thing that interests me, primarily because I am paranoid of how shitty I would probably be if I had even less, even fewer, even fewer sort of like
Inhibitions.
inhibitions on how I behave. So I
Uh,
already do plenty of shit I regret completely stone cold sober.
Three Star Night says, "Is there a big social aspect of being drunk?" Well, I never get really drunk. The most I get is tipsy because I don't enjoy being drunk, and I typically only drink socially, unless I drink socially or, um, I am someone who has a hard time relaxing, and every blue moon I'll be like, "No, I'm gonna have a drink of wine." Because then you'll be too goofy to get work done, and you'll have to relax.
Ah.
I'm a very anxious person. I will sometimes get myself into a tizzy. Like I will go into spirals of I have 10 things I have to do. I'm convinced I have to do them all at the same time, which is stupid. But
Right.
that's just how I get. And then you'll be stuck in this road of indecision where you're getting nothing done. And
Mhm.
every blue moon, I'll just break that cycle by having myself a drink. And it's like, well, now you can't work on anything. Fuck, I have to go relax and like watch TV or something. The choice has been taken from me, and that is kind of nice. And then
Mhm.
then I'll relax, and then I'll sober up, and then I'll be like, okay, let's go get some work done. And it's much easier for me to pick something to work on when I have broken the fucking wall of anxiety already. I've shattered
Mhm.
it. It's like, okay, I feel better. Let's go do a thing.
Hmm. Yeah, so a lot of
Every blue
people.
moon, that's weak beer. Oh, drank once.
Hmm.
I don't know what that means.
That's Blue Moon is a kind of beer. It's a brand.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I should know that. I used to be a bartender, but I.
And I have no basis for this opinion, but I get a lot of TV ads for some reason for something called Leinenkugels, which is a shandy, which is something I had to look up. And that's when you mix beer and lemonade. And I'm all like, sounds gross.
I love alcoholic lemonades.
Really? But do you like beer and lemonade?
Well, I don't like beer,
Beer mixed with lemonade, yum yum.
but I don't like beer.
It sounds super fucking gross.
I do like hard lemonades though.
Yeah, hard lemonade's different, I
But those are
think.
more like what's it called? Fucking wine coolers, basically. They're
Yeah,
glorified wine coolers.
those were the shit when I was like a little teenager in the suburbs. Everybody had wine coolers. Like that's what the cool kids had at the
I
house
mean, they still
party.
do that
Really, are wine coolers still a thing?
because they're cheap and
That
easy to get and steal from your mom.
Oh, they seem like so fucking dated, but
It doesn't matter if
well,
it's all you can get.
yeah.
yeah,
That's
that's the
not how
thing. The
teen
appeal
drinking.
is not that them of themselves. The appeal is they are easy to steal from mom.
Good Lord, Jack Daniel's watermelon punch. That wow, look at that. I didn't know that even existed. I don't know. I just figure everything from my childhood no one does anymore. You know.
I mean, a lot of people do because you have to understand there's some things from childhood that are constant, like trying to sneak things past your parents, and sometimes you get what you get. You get what you can walk out of the gas station without being like ID'd. Like a lot of gas stations sell a lot of wine coolers, but not a lot of hard liquor. And that's just
Yeah.
what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Grocery stores too. Like that's
Yeah.
what you're gonna get.
Lines are kind of gross. They sound gross. They sound fucking gross. But again,
Oh
if that's
man,
your
the
thing, no
nastiest
judgment.
things in the world are these little, I forget what they're called, but they're called like choco balls or something. Like they're these round bottles. You can get them at convenience stores, and they're these round bottles of little wine cocktails. And some of them are like strawberry flavored. Some of them are like chocolate. I got one that was like mudslide flavored. It did not taste like a mudslide. It tasted like nail varnish.
Not to like change the subject
How
too fucking much.
fucking dare you?
Not too fucking much. But I just like to say, Tina Turner died recently, and she's fucking amazing. And if you have never seen Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, yes, I know Mel Gibson's in it. I can't do anything about that, but I recommend you watch Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome because it explains a lot about me. When I was a child, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, the TV cut aired on an almost weekly basis. And I would watch it every weekend I could. And without making it mushy,
Too late.
when I was a child in the 80s, it was very unusual to have a super cool black lady who was in charge.
Sorry, Kel shared a picture. Keep talking.
A super cool black lady who was in charge of things, and everyone listened to her, and she did her job really well. And she wasn't ultimately like punished for being in charge. And I fucking, even back then, I knew how rare that was because, and this is a mentality that I noticed as a child. So when there are men my age and they react to me in a certain way, or they react to women in general in a certain way, especially if they are being publicly outperformed by a woman, for example, or a brown person or a queer person. I came from the generation where people who were brown or queer or women, they were supporting cast. They weren't ever stars. They couldn't come in first. They had to come in second. And Auntie Entity was the star of that fucking film. And I loved her, and everyone else who watched Beyond Thunderdome loved her. She was badass. She was in charge. And one of the things that has taken on more meaning as I got older was she mentions briefly that before the end of the world, before the apocalypse, the slow rolling apocalypse that characterizes Mad Max films, she was nobody in particular. But as the world became sort of more of a meritocracy, you got to see what she actually could accomplish when kind of the universe got out of her way. And I really fucking loved that about the character. And even though at the end of Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, she does air quotes lose, you kind of get the sense that she's just fucking fine. She'll be fine. It doesn't matter. She'll be fine. You know, she doesn't get Disney villain dropped off a cliff screaming. She doesn't get stabbed or shot or killed. You know, it's just Mad Max manages to get away from her with his life. That's how she air quotes loses. And she thinks it's funny. And I just really, really liked Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. And I recommend you watch it and see why I love Auntie Entity is the name of the character. I love Auntie Entity so much. And Tina Turner was really cool, and I'll never forget her. And
Spike,
that
you should look
is
at the
what I have.
picture I posted in chat.
I had that National Geographic as a child. That's where that's from. That's from a National Geographic. I fucking love that.
No.
Yes.
No, it's how that person picks up their boyfriend to take him to bed for a cuddle. Don't
Fair
fucking
enough.
lie to me. I
This
see this
is,
caption.
This is Seder and Boltungan.
Yes, it is. It's very much Seder.
It's me and who?
Me and who? Question mark, question mark, question
Who is
mark,
going to
round
drag
thing.
me to bed by my head with their mouth?
By your hair, even. Just like,
No.
yes,
By my head. Look at the picture. Those teeth are in the skull.
Oh yeah.
Chomp down, drag me to bed.
That is such an interesting illustration.
Where is my giant robot wife here to
Yeah,
bite
she
me in the
doesn't get
head?
Immortan Jode. Yes. Also, Kristen Cheney. When Fury Road came out and Furiosa kind of got all center stage and everything, I would read these articles, and one of them was was written by, excuse me, a woman who had an incomplete limb. Like I think she was born missing the exact same part of her arm that Furiosa is. And she said that she would go in and watch the film at like early morning showings, like 10 a.m. showings, where like fucking no one's going to be there. So she could cry while she watched Fury Road because it was so unusual for her to have someone on the screen that she could relate to in that way who was so fucking cool and so badass, and that she loved so much that she would just be sitting in the theater and crying, and she didn't want to do it in front of people, so she'd go to the early showings. And I remember reading that and just being all like, yeah, it's like that's kind of why I hold on to Auntie Entity so much, that it's so fucking rare that something like that shows up in mainstream big budget media, that when it happens you're like a little lamprey on it. You can't let go of it, and I absolutely get that.
See, that's how I thought I liked murderers. We've had this conversation about how I was convinced I liked murderers, and it was like, oh no, I just like lesbians.
Is this about Eileen Wuornos?
And the Beautiful Creatures movie, is that what it was called?
Yeah, about the two girls who were like
Yeah.
super, super good friends. Yeah.
Yeah, and how like I was like, oh, I really like these. I guess I like murderers. And then I was like, oh no, I'm gay.
Yeah. Yeah, for folk, is it Heavenly Creatures or Beautiful Creatures?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Amanda, I bet that there's a teen out there who watched Killing Eve and made the same mistake.
I don't know what that is.
It's about murderous lesbians.
Oh, okay then. If I were a teen now, and well, I don't know, if I were a teen now, I might not be as repressed as I was as a teen and confused. Heavenly Creatures. Thank you, Kirsten.
Oh, Heavenly Creatures.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, no, like if I were a teen now, perhaps things would be different, but I was a teen previously.
Yeah.
When things were different.
Yeah, Killing Eve is basically someone saw all these shows where there's a cop chasing a super criminal, a psychopath, and there's all the homoerotic tension between them, and said, I would like to do this, but with lesbians instead of gay men. And they did.
Yeah, I'm for folks who aren't aware, by the way, Heavenly Creatures it's based on a real story. I don't know how completely fictionalized it is, but it's based on a real story about two girls who were incredibly attached to one another. I'm pretty sure they say they weren't lovers, but they are often depicted as such in media. And when I say girls, I do mean they're like, tweens. They're like 13, 14. They're like young. And there's kind of a class dynamic too, because one of them is from a well-to-do family and one of them is from a working class family. And they become really, really good friends, and they share a lot of fiction. They write a lot of fantasy stories.
If they were modern girls, they would have been sharing fan fiction and AMVs.
Oh, for sure. 100%. And the parents become kind of like not into how attached they are to one another. And one of the moms makes plans to send her daughter away to like a boarding school just to get her away from her best friend. And the girls are very resistant, but then they sort of pretend, okay, fine, we'll go along with it. But instead of actually going along with it, they murder that one girl's mother. And like, it's a very We're 13 plot, because it's like, what was your plan after her mother died?
Oh, they had plans. They just weren't actionable.
Yeah. And what they ended up doing is they came up with just this very teenager plot, and they eventually beat the mom's head in with like a brick. And of course, that's a very messy way to kill somebody. So they were covered in blood, And then they ran back along the garden path they were walking on in isolation with that one mom and found somebody. And keep in mind, they're just like covered in obvious spatter patterns, after beating this woman to death with a rock. And they're like, she fell. So fucking stupid. But yeah, I think these two, they eventually got separated, obviously. And I think they went to like prison.
I
And
I think eventually it wasn't a life sentence, but a condition
yeah.
of their sentences was they could never like contact each other again.
Yeah, and one moved to like California or something. And the thing is, one of them became an author of like crime fiction under another name too. And every once in a while, like every 10 years or so, people would remember these two girls had done this, and people would like come knock on their doors and bother them. And one of them took it real bad every single time, like, get off my land, kind of screaming at cameras type thing.
The one that became an author, I remember there was an article that someone posted that's like, well, they do say write what you know.
Oh, wow.
Because she wrote about murders.
Yeah. There was something else too. Oh, there was a novel that was really popular a while back. I read this one. It was pretty good and I recommend it. It was called
I don't like that you're trying to make me read.
The Wicked Girls. Let me look that up to make sure I'm not wrong. Yeah, The Wicked Girls by Alex Marwood. It was a real novel, and I liked it a lot. I recommend it a lot. And it is clearly strongly inspired by the case of James Bulger, which I'm sure any British people listening to this know what that is. But in case you don't, there was a story where some tween boys skipped school and just really impulsively kidnapped a toddler.
All right, keep the details of this one sparse.
Yeah, kidnapped a toddler boy at the mall and murdered him. And there's kind of no question it was them. It's like the security camera caught them leading the little boy away.
Yeah.
And
this is as much as you're allowed to say about it.
And it was incredibly shocking because of the age of the boys. Like I said, they were like 12, 13, 14. And the UK does some stuff that I think America also does, but very sparingly, which is if you are a juvenile offender, especially of an incredibly notorious crime, they give you false identities when you get out of juvie or get out of the prison, because it's very rare there for people to be sentenced for natural life sentences. So especially if they're children, they're going to get out one day. So they will manufacture entire new identities for children who have committed notorious crimes, because in the UK, they seem to really, really enjoy vigilante justice in a way that I don't really see mirrored in the US. Like, for example, if they find out you're a notorious murderer in the UK and you live on the block, shit'll come through your window. People will break in your house in the middle of the night to kick your ass. Stores won't let you shop there, and people will scream at you in the street. Like, you just can't live your life, which is why these two boys are now apparently out with secret identities. And notably, it's an actual fucking crime you will go to jail for if you blow their cover, if you happen to know who they are and you blow their cover. And The Wicked Girls is inspired by this. It's about two 11-year-old girls who are accused of committing a terrible murder. And it's about their lives now as adults, where they know who each other are and they know they're not allowed to contact each other. But even, like, for example, their spouses and children don't know who they are. So it's this very good book about these two women whose entire lives are like they have this terrible secret. And it starts off by like absolute chance, absolute random dumb luck. They spot one another like at the supermarket. Like, who that is over there. And she knows, and she knows who you are. That other 11-year-old girl you killed that little boy with. And like, they're in their 30s now, and they haven't seen each other since. And the book is really, really fucking good. I recommend The Wicked Girls. You should read it.
No.
It's really good.
You can't make me read.
You can read?
No.
Amanda, you should read that Discworld book I lent you though, because it's
Again,
full of adorable.
I'm sure it's great. It's really hard to get me to read fiction right now.
I get it.
It's just it's hard. I liked if I'm gonna read something, I prefer nonfiction and to listen to it because then I can work.
Yeah. Kristen Cheney says Mary Bell got that treatment. She sure did. She got that treatment. She is out under a new identity. She has had a daughter.
Like I haven't even finished shows I want to finish yet, just because it's like, well, I can't watch that and work. This is the anxiety and I just got shit to do.
Yeah.
Again, this is also an anxiety thing. It's sort of I sometimes get to a point where I can't enjoy things. Like I'll say I put time aside and I'm like, okay, time to enjoy my thing, and I will stop paying attention because I start to like get twitchy and upset because it's like, oh god, I need to work, I need to pay bills, I have to go.
Oh my god, I absolutely understand that impulse. That whole, what do you think you're doing? You have too much to do right now.
I mean, yeah, it's more of a panic, but yeah, it's more of you need to get off your ass or you're not going to have a place to live. Get up, go.
Yeah.
You want to keep eating hot dogs? Get up off your ass.
No, I think I have some sausage in the fridge. I wouldn't mind some of that. I might make soup. I think I'll make soup later.
My fridge is sad at the moment.
Oh.
It's in bachelor chow territory at the moment because I just...
So it's like a bottle of ketchup?
No, it's just lots of salsas.
Oh, okay.
Lots of half-eaten jars of salsas that I mix and match as I please. And not much else.
Also, I just want to say really quickly for you folks who like Night in the Woods, the Glory Society, which is by the same people like Scott Benson et al., they have announced their next game. So you should definitely check them out. It's called Revenant Hill. It looks very interesting. Looks very Night in the Woods meets their previous game. I just brain farted. But yeah, you should check it out.
Oh, there go the sirens again. They've been going off a lot tonight.
Coming for you, Amanda.
Can they wait till I actually do something?
The jig is fucking up.
No. Sorry, give me a second. I'm scratching my ears.
Last night during my stream with Joe asked me what is my favorite speech in a movie or TV show.
Okay.
What is your favorite speech?
Oh, shit.
I have no idea. I can't even think of a speech.
Yeah, this is something I might have to research. Trying to think.
Yeah.
Oh god, the thing is, I can think of what immediately comes to mind when you ask me about a speech in a movie, but it's not my favorite. It's just really memorable.
See, I realized all the ones I thought of were villain speeches.
Yeah, mine is not.
I don't think I watch enough stuff to have a favorite speech.
In particular, one of the ones that instantly jumped to my mind is the villain in Addams Family Values, where she's like,
a ballerina.
Aren't I a human being? Don't I yearn and ache and shop? Don't I deserve love and jewelry?
I think another problem is I'm sure there's speeches I liked, but because most movies I've probably only seen once, I don't remember what characters exactly said. So, like, I'm sure there's something in there rattling in my head, but, like, fuck if I can remember it.
I literally can't remember the film it came from, but I can remember who said it, and I can remember one line from it. There was a film which was clearly an alien invasion film of some sort, and Idris Elba was in it, and he got to be British in it. And he said at some point, "Tonight we are canceling the apocalypse."
Pacific Rim.
Was that Pacific Rim? Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that line. Whatever happened to Pacific Rim? Because I thought there was supposed to be a sequel.
I mean,
There
there
was a
was
sequel,
a
and it wasn't good.
there was a very
Oh.
good sequel, and now it's just exists in a lot of fan fictions.
I mean, the movie didn't get deleted. You can still watch it.
Mhm.
Yeah. It is just the sequel was not very good.
Oh, okay.
I think it got an anime tie-in thingy, like
Yeah,
a
it also
limited,
got an
very
anime
appropriate.
tie-in.
like a
That would be
limited
very
series or
appropriate.
something.
Hmm.
But I don't remember.
I
I wasn't interested in the anime thing just because, like, no. That anime has lots of that. I don't want more of that. I want more of the live action shit. That's what
Speaking
I
of,
want.
I remember I said something on Twitter the other
I
day
want to have
that
sex with the Russian Jaeger.
well, it's important to know what you want.
Yeah, I do. I want.
But like, I remember I said something on Twitter a while back, and it was like a FedEx arrow for a lot of things. Well, not FedEx arrow. Yeah, it was a FedEx arrow for a lot of people, where I said, just just in case you want to see the the seams, the creator of Stranger Things was a big fan of Elfenlied, and a lot of people went,
Yeah,
"Fuck!" Yeah.
that is the least surprising thing.
Yeah,
That's like, is he also a fan of Stephen King, Spike?
yeah, but it's one of those things where it doesn't occur to a lot of people, and they're like, "Holy shit! Now I'll
Because
never be able to
Elfenlight is old
unsee."
and sucks.
Yeah, I don't like it either, but it's just I'm looking at the replies here, and someone's like, "Oh yeah, that tracks," and someone else is like, "Wow, that makes too much sense."
Um,
Mhm.
but
Oh,
yeah, like that was like the last hour of uh Joe and I's stream was just us trying to think of like speeches that we liked.
by the way, I am a
Um,
liar. I
Oh.
have just checked on Blue Sky. I have one single solitary invite.
Well, you have to give it to me.
yeah, because it's invite day.
There's an
You get them
actual
every
day
2
set
weeks.
aside.
You
Okay.
get them every 2 weeks. So,
Okay. I guess I've been on Blue
um,
Sky. I have one invite code. And do you actually want it, Amanda?
Only to sit on my name in case I want to go over.
Okay.
That's the
Are
only
you?
reason, because I'm not going to use it until everyone's
Oh,
using it.
I'm sorry. If you're not going to use it, I'm probably not going to give it to you.
Well, fuck you too.
I just want people to actually do something.
I
there.
can't be on multiple social media platforms. It's like, why do y'all really want to divide my attention up even more? You're
Yeah,
gonna
I know
get
that
watered
feeling.
down, Amanda. I can't.
Yeah, I get you. I get you.
A lot of
It is
a lot of my stuff is very sporadic, and like I can't fake that across multiple platforms. That's why it's like, no, I'm on Twitter and co-host. This is where I'm at.
Yeah.
Co-host is where I'm sharing art first. Twitter is where I'm being spontaneously me. I
Mhm.
can't fake that across platforms, and I have nothing to really promote individually.
Mhm.
So like, there's just no point. When I have other things to promote, it'll be different. It'll be more worth it to like next year's gonna be fucking.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Time to turn on my fucking promo machine
Yeah.
shit. Next year it'll make more sense to like spread myself across platforms. This year it's like, no, I just use Twitter to talk.
Mhm.
And when I talk, I'm very spontaneous and in the moment, and I guess genuine. It sounds weird to say, but no, I'm being genuine usually. And that's really hard to spread out across platforms. It's hard to be like, okay, I'm being genuine on Twitter. Now let's go be
Mhm.
genuine on this platform. Okay, I did
Yeah.
that. I did it on Blue Sky. Now let's go to Mastodon. Let's go be genuine on. I can't.
Yeah,
I
I
can't.
get you.
It's not how I function. It's not how I communicate.
I feel like
I am great at
I
the social
use
media promo, though.
I feel like I use Blue Sky the same way a lot of people use locked Twitter accounts, which is like I'm just a little bit fucking meaner there.
I mean, I use locked Twitter accounts because I literally just don't need anyone saying that but approved individuals.
Yeah, I'm just like measurably percentage wise, maybe 15-25% shittier on Blue Sky. Just a little meaner.
I mean, people can still read that shit.
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't, go over there and say truly actionable shit. But there are some things I simply don't say on Twitter because I'm not interested in a moron's opinion about it. You know what I mean? Like, because there are always going to be people on Twitter who are literally ready to assume the absolute worst
Oh no,
possible
absolutely.
interpretation
There's
of
a
anything you
reason why
say.
I don't
That
talk about
is,
certain things anymore.
yeah, that is absent on Blue Sky. Like, I won't post something on Blue Sky that's, you know what my favorite fruit is? Peach. There will be no quote tweets going, look at this dumb bitch liking tweets, liking peaches. Or, oh, so what you're saying is plums are trash.
Yeah.
That's Twitter energy, not Blue Sky energy.
I mean, that's just because there's no one on Blue Sky. It'll happen eventually.
Eh, probably, but I can enjoy it before it does.
I know,
But
yeah, for
speaking of
sure.
which, we've been here for like 2 hours
Your
and
point?
I want to go make soup.
No,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
no,
So I'm going to shut it off here. Y'all can keep going if you like, but
no,
I'm gonna.
no.
Everybody, I am Iron_Spike on Twitter. I am Iron Spike, all one word, everywhere else. That includes Blue Sky, co host, Pillow Fort, Spoutable, Hive Social. Please follow Iron Circus Comics on Twitter. That is Iron
Oh,
Circus Comics
shit.
spelled Comix because that's the only way it'll fit. We are crowdfunding Wine Ghost Goes to Hell, the debut graphic novel by Sage Coffee about a messy bitch who dies for drama. It's only 90 pages, just $10, and a really fun, cute read. We are about 90% funded.
91%.
We are 91% funded, so it would be awesome if you could help us bring it on home. I think it's a really cute little comic, and I think you'll enjoy it. And yeah, please follow me on assorted social media and please back our crowdfund.
I'm Kel McDonald. I'm on a bunch of social medias as Kel McDonald. And I'm on Twitter as Kelhound, which is spelled like Hellhound, but with a K. I stream 3 times a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, at twitch.tv/Cal McDonald. So you should follow me on there and come watch me draw. I also make comics that you can read at kelmcdonald.com.
I'm Amanda Lafrene. My link is in the description. It links to my stuff.
Okay. Thanks so much for coming, everybody.